So here's my K40 laser. You can't really use these things out of the box, or not very well. I have a Z table now. I put an amp meter in there because if you run them up too high, they basically burn themselves out. Really, I'm running it at 50% power. Any more than that, you kind of kill the tubes. I got an updated controller board in there, a Cohesion 3D board. For better, they said it was for better imagery, although you don't really get great imagery out of this thing without a ton of work. I also updated the exhaust fan thing, but then the Z table ends up being small anyway, so you don't really need to do that. It's kind of a waste. I got the chiller too, which costs as much as the laser. Then there's an exhaust fan to really blow it out of there. I'm not really sure you need the exhaust fan. But all in all, the K40 laser ended up costing me about $2,000 once you do all the upgrades. The chiller and the amp meter to keep the power a little lower and keep it cool. Extends the life is what people say. I also had to replace all the cooling lines because they were basically pinching themselves, so water wasn't flowing. But you know, it's a $500 laser, $500 chiller. Nothing says cheap like hot glue. So that's on all the mirrors, so when it ships, I guess people were complaining they get out of alignment. But it does cut. I really think I bought it to etch aluminum. It does an okay job, but it's a lot of work. I think it's really meant to cut wood, acrylic, you know, softer materials. But it allowed me to experiment and figure out what my next steps are. And then I'll push the aluminum panel vendor to do all the actual work. But now I have the idea in my head. So anyway, that's the K40. Hopefully I won't spend any more on this thing. Might get a new nozzle and a focus mirror, which is about $40, and that'll be it. But yeah, there it is.